Hello, this is DM Gashbad. I'm about to play my very first game of Batman Miniatures game tomorrow. It's a tournament held at a local game shop. I think there's about a 75% chance that the tournament will be canceled due to poor attendance, but I intend to show up. I want to learn, and I think this might be the best way to do it. I'm bringing my Green Arrow crew. I'm a huge fan of the Arrow TV show, and I tolerate a lot of the other CW shows, but I'm a big fan of Arrow, so I thought I would show what crew I'm bringing and just my general thoughts going into it. I really don't know much about the game. I've watched lots of videos, I've looked at the rules, I think I know what I'm doing, but well, I should say, I think I know the rules, but I don't think I know what I'm doing. So I thought I'd show this crew to you, tell you what I'm bringing, and then you can learn from my mistakes, or you can laugh at how little I know. Anyway, first thing first, here's my leader, Oliver Queen, Arrow, nice first season outfit. Looking at him, he can lay down a lot of fire. He's got a total of 4 ammo with his different specialty arrows. He's got Master Marksman. He rerolls his hits. He's got his special multi-fire rule, which says that if he doesn't move, he can fire 3 times. He has Shooter. He ignores the first ping. If he gets into a position where he can unload on somebody, he's going to cause a lot of damage, I would think. But that's going to be the trick, is making sure that he has that shot lined up at just the right time. He has the hook arrow, the bat claw, but I think I want to avoid using that too much. I think I'm going to just keep him on ground level, kind of use him like I see people using dead shot, try and line up a good shot, unload, reposition, yeah, that sort of thing. Okay, next person next. We got Barry Allen, TV's Flash. I really don't know what to make of this guy. He's got a lot of abilities, a lot of special rules. He's really expensive. He's my sidekick. I'm not really sure how to get the best out of this guy. But I think, since he seems to be pretty terrible in combat, he only does a single stun, and he just doesn't have a lot of rules to help him be a better combat character. I think what I'm going to use him for is grabbing objectives. He's got detective, and he has a lot of speed, so I think I'm probably going to put down a couple riddles and use him to just rush out, solve the riddles, go get behind enemy lines, camp on one of my objectives, that sort of thing. Turn off bat signals since he can run up walls. But who knows? I'm really nervous about his Speed Force rules. I don't roll particularly well, so even those Speed Force powers with the paradox of 6 or 5, I'm really nervous about using them. I'd really rather use the ones that are more of a sure thing, just move them the extra 10 centimeters, heal a wound, that kind of thing. But that probably isn't the best use out of him, but the paradox results kind of terrify me, so I'm going to try and play him a little bit more conservatively than perhaps I should. Next character next. Here we go, one of my favorites from the TV show. Here's John Diggle, Spartan, without his weird helmet. I gave him riot gear, and what else did I equip him with? I gave him an extra magazine. That was a real tough choice. I could give him the grapple gun, I could give him a bat claw, or I could have given him the extra magazine. In the end, he's got Master Marksman as well. Just firing a whole bunch of handgun shots at short range really appealed to me. He's also got that taser, which appeals to me as well. It's got reach, it's got crit stun, does double stun. He's good in combat, and he's really, really resilient. So he has Kevlar vest, which allows him to take 1 less damage than usual. I also gave him riot gear, which makes him immune to the heavy and sharp rules, which I hope will really help him out. He also has bodyguard, let me check out his character real quick. He also has an endurance of 7. Uh, his defense is only 3, which is too bad. But my plan is to move him and Arrow together. If need be, he can bodyguard for Oliver Queen, kind of like he did in the first season of the show, hoping that his Kevlar vest and his whatchamacallit, his Kevlar vest and his riot gear keep him safe. Also, he is a henchman, which kind of confused me. I don't know why he was a henchman in the list, but my guess is that people probably want to use both Arrow and Flash, and then also include John Diggle, and you can't have 2 sidekicks in the same crew, so someone had to be a henchman in order to make that work. So I guess the job goes to Diggle. Anyway, I'm hoping to move my 2 heavy hitters up together, have them try and protect each other, and just unload a bunch of shots at whoever comes close. Probably want to use them to defend my own objectives rather than going after other people's, and use the Flash to run down my own objectives, but we'll see. Okay, next person next. Here's Agent Ron, or as I'm going to call this guy, Quentin Lance. No longer detective, he got demoted to officer again. Just gets into trouble all the time. No one seems to like this guy very much. But, I don't know, kind of doesn't make sense to have a bunch of cops running around without at least one guy with a gun. So I'm taking him. I gave him an extra magazine. I also gave him a radio, mostly because the funding worked out so that the radio was about the only thing I could afford. Second off, I kind of think that some of those Let's Go plays could, I don't know, there's some potential there. I feel like if he gets to re-roll the Let's Go rule, so someone can knock someone down, someone can keep someone from moving, which I'll get to in a second, and then they can Let's Go onto Mr. Quentin Lance there, and he can unload on him with his handgun. So I'm hoping for some opportunities like that. In fact, let's get to that right now. I'm also taking Officer Joe West. He's no longer detective either. Barry Allen probably went back in time and messed up his timeline again. So he's demoted to an officer. I gave him a whistle, and he also has the flashlight. So he's got the lantern rule. So my hope is that he can run up to somebody, he can whistle them, stop them from using movement counters. So he could go up to, say, an acrobat who's planning on dodging everything. He can stop them from using those movement counters, and then Let's Go Quentin Lance, and he can fire a bunch of shots at them while they freeze and don't move like a dummy. But even if I can't do that, say there's a big guy charging down the field at me, I can get Joe to use his flashlight and then to use his whistle to just keep him away from me for a while. This team doesn't have a ton of close combat power, so anyone huge that charges at me, I'm going to have a real problem with. And then finally, we have Gotham Policewoman. This will be, again, got a little bit of a demotion, but that's Officer McKenna Hale from first season Arrow. She isn't given anything in particular. She's just there to sit on objectives, to get in the way, to just help out where she can. She's my cheapest character. Just a body on the field. If someone needs to go into the sewers, if someone needs to just camp on an objective or take a hit for someone more valuable, sorry, she's the person that gets the job. So anyway, that's about the rundown. I'm really unclear about strategies. I have a list. As far as objectives go, I definitely want an ammo. Probably get a Titan and then go for riddles, have Barry Allen chase those down. But that's about that. Anyway, this is coming up on 10 minutes. I think I'll leave it there, and I'll let you know how it goes.